Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex Arnoznos here, and with the release of the Guardians gift tomorrow, I've had a lot of comments asking, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, what do I use my wishes on? What's the best thing to use them on to get the most value out of them? Well, in today's video, I'm going to go through all the new wishes and give you guys my thoughts on what the best are to use and what to use them on, and also talk about personally what I will be using my wishes on. So what is the Guardian's gift and what are wishes? Well, since the login lockout happened, Jagex decided to grant everyone wishes which they can use. These wishes follow a charge system. Normal players that weren't locked out of their accounts will receive 100% charge, while players who were locked out get 300%, and players locked out for an extended period will get 400% charge. This is just a nice way for Jagex to give back to those who were affected by the login lockout, and even if you weren't affected at all, you'll still get some nice free stuff. So what are these wishes that you get? Well, there are 8 different wishes to choose from, and each of them require a certain amount of your charges to use. For instance, if one wish costs 10%, well, then most players that weren't affected can buy 10 of those wishes if they so choose. Well, what wishes are the best, you may be asking? Well, now we're going to go through them all, and I'll give my thoughts to you on every single wish. So the first wish we have, which is probably the most talked about, is the Inventor's Wish. Now basically what this does is it will give you a gizmo that doesn't consume materials when used. This means that you have a chance at basically any perk for free. This is just as overpowered as it sounds, and one of the wishes that I will be choosing when I get my charges. It currently costs 20% charge to use, which means the average player can use it 5 times. Now, what's the best way to use this wish? Well, one thing you can do is to go for the most expensive perks possible, which would be something like Aftershock 4 Equilibrium 2, which costs around 60 to 80 mil per attempt and has a 30% success rate. Another great perk to go for is Biting 4. Now, Biting 4 is a super overpowered and expensive invention perk, and in the description, in case you want more info, I actually made invention guides on perking out your armor and weapons and talk about the perks and all their costs, so I'll leave that in the description and at the end of the video in case you want some more info. Now, Biting 4 costs noxious components, which are basically received from disassembling noxious items. So yes, very expensive. On average, to get Biting 4, it's going to cost you around 100 mil, as one attempt is in the 60 mil range, and you have a 62% chance of getting some combination of Biting 4 at level 120 invention. Now, if you have the invention level, I think this may be the best perk to go for if you don't have it, as the components are the most expensive, but you also have a decent rate of getting it. The risk with going for something like Aftershock is the chance of getting something like Aftershock 4 Equilibrium 2 are around 30%, which means you could theoretically use all 5 of your gizmo wishes and not get the perk you want, which would suck. However, something like Biting 4 is much better odds at 62% at level 120 invention, and I personally plan on using a few wishes on these gizmos, and I'll be trying to get Aftershock 4 instead of Biting 4 because I already have Biting 4, but I do not have Aftershock 4 yet just because of the price. So all things aside, if you don't have the best in slot perks, but you have a high invention level, this is probably the best wish you can use in terms of value because of all the money potentially saved. Next, we're going to look at the Warrior's Wish, which is another wish that is amazing in my opinion. Now, this wish costs just 10% charge and will grant the player with an Aura Refresher, a Sign of Life Refresher, a Soul Reaper Refresher, and an Item Protection Contract. Now, I am someone who personally uses a ton of Aura Refreshers, so when I saw those, I was sold. However, if we look deeper, something like a life refresh is a very useful item for high level PVM in case you use your Sign of Life and want to refresh it. And the Soul Reaper refresh has the potential to make you tons of money in Hydrixes, as you can do more than one task a day from the Soul Reaper and can potentially get a ton of fast points. Now, the item protection contract basically grants you a free death cost as well, so it's a nice add-on. If you're an avid PVMer and have most of the invention perks I mentioned above, this is a really good wish, and I honestly plan on taking a bunch of these as well. So next we are going to look at the Wrangler's Wish, which causes animals in a specified pen to breed. It includes a 1 guaranteed breed and 1 extra 40 to 80% chance to breed based on animal type, and it costs 10% charge to use. Now this wish I have really no interest in taking. However, if you're someone who's going to try to complete all the player-owned farm logs, I could see this wish potentially being useful for you. However, I think some of the other wishes really outweigh this one. Next, we have the Navigator's Wish, which completes all your active player-owned port voyages and costs 10% charge per use. Now this one actually seems pretty decent, although it doesn't guarantee port success rate, so you might want to still keep that in mind because you could still fail a voyage, but it can definitely be a way to speed up on the slow and time-gated aspects of something like player-owned ports. So if you're someone that is still doing ports and wants to, complete it at a sped up rate, this could be a good wish to use. So next we're going to look at the Wanderer's Wish, which resets a daily, weekly, or monthly distraction and diversion of your choice. Now this costs 1% charge per daily reset, 5% charge per weekly reset, and 20% charge per monthly reset. Now I personally don't think this one is super worth it, but because a lot of you probably already have reset tokens in your bank from your daily keys. But there's really not a ton of weekly or monthly D&Ds that seem to be worth the cost of a 5 to 20% reset. The only potential thing I will say though is if you're interested in, collecting clues or potentially making money, this could be decent as there is no cap to resetting, so you could theoretically go and do the giant oyster 5 times if you want to spend all your charge at once to try for some crazy drop, or you could go do the weekly charge and kill the skeletal horde 20 times for 20 elite clues. So there are a lot of ways to get, some XP or a chance at some clue rewards or GP, but I feel the other wishes kind of are just better. Next, we have the Polymath's Wish, which just gives you double XP for 1 hour of playtime, and it costs 10%. So a normal player that wasn't affected could buy 1 to 10 hours of double XP, but in my opinion, with just how often double XP comes nowadays, I feel like this might be a waste of your wishes, as you could put your charge towards some of the more valuable ones. However, if you're someone who just loves to skill and is trying to knock out a few of the last skills for Maxscape or something, this could be a good option for you. Next, we have the Archaeologist Wish, which costs 10% to use, and it completes your active archaeology resource. Now, just like ports, this could be useful for someone trying to get all the archaeology research or mysteries done, but for 10% charge, I'd rather just wait, since you don't need to do nearly as much archaeology research as you do player-owned ports. Now finally, we have the Entrepreneur's Wish. Now this gives a pack of non-combat items including 2 animal name rerollers, 2 animal trait rerollers, 2 farm gender rerollers, 2 captain rerollers, 2 crew rerollers, 2 voyage rerollers, 10 port resource crates, a traveling merchant coupon which allows you to purchase stock from a day in the last 30 days at the traveling merchant. However, if you've already purchased that stock before, you won't be able to buy it again. You'll also receive a writ of freelancing which can reset the daily contract completion cap in the Ark, and a writ of barter which can reset the daily cap of obtaining chimes through the Ark. So safe to say you do get a lot from this last wish, but is it worth it? In my opinion, not really. The only thing I see that I would personally use is the traveling merchant coupon. However, the fact that you can't go back and buy something you have already bought kind of sucks. Although I get why they did it, because if you didn't do that, someone could go and buy 30 Death Touch darts if they have 300% charge. However, if there's something you wanted from the traveling merchant like Livid points for Livid Farm or Reaper points and you missed it in the past 30 days, this could be a good way to convert some of the wish charge into cash or useful items. However, again, I think the other wishes just outweigh this one too. So that's going to be all the wishes, guys. The ones that I recommend taking is firstly the Invention wish and trying to get something like Biting 4 if you don't already have it. After that, for PVMers, the Warrior's wish is absolutely amazing and one that I'll be taking for sure. And then something like the Wanderer's wish for doing some extra weekly or monthly events, or the Polymath's wish for a bit of extra XP are also good options. I wish you guys luck on your wishes, and I hope they help you improve and progress your account. And if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like as it helps the video get out there to more people, and comment below if you have any questions about wishes or anything else, and I'll try to respond as fast as I can. Make sure to subscribe for more RuneScape 3 content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.